First game of the season at Peterborough has just finished. Phantoms 4, Leeds Knights 3, and it's appropriate to be joined by new head coach Ash Tait. Ash, never in doubt?
I think at 4-1 I was really happy, and then we just stopped doing what got us to 4-1. So not a bad point of the season. Just to learn that lesson, you can't. It doesn't. I just said it on the radio. You can't take your foot off or change what you're doing. The boys did what I asked, and that got us to 4-1, and then we stopped playing. And against a team like Leeds, you're going to come unstuck a little bit if you do that.
So the start was unreal. I think it's 17 minutes in, and we're 4-1 up. 2 power play goals from Dylan Lawrence. Those lines have had to change through pre-season, and of course with Yanni being out tonight, that's another decision to be made. Which does that disrupt the planning too much?
Obviously it did. I thought it did for tonight. You kind of make the changes, but I think Morgan's had a great start to the season. I think Louis has been outstanding. Everybody's contributing, regardless of where people may think they are in the pecking order, and that's how you get success. Everybody has to do their bit, and that's how tonight was. It became a bit hairy at times in the third, but everybody dug in and were blocking shots and making the right plays, and we got there in the end.
What's more pleasing, the start or the finish?
No, I think both. It was the start was pleasing because for me it was an example to the boys of what we can do. And then it was almost, as a coaching point, it was great because I could look at it and go, oh, this is first period, great. Second period, not good, look what happens. Third period, we're going to have to learn how to play with 1-goal leads through the season, and we did that really well tonight.
And Dylan gets the man of the match, not least for 2 power play goals, but strong performance throughout. And then Lavi at the end is having to stand on his head on a 6-on-4. Tough times and resolute defending.
Yeah, like I said, Leeds have consistently been one of the best teams in the league, most successful over the last 3, 4, 5 years. So, even at 4-1, you've still got game's not over. And as we said, we had some big performances from some key guys, and that's, again, if we're going to have any success this year, that has to be something we see week in, week out.
Yeah, I wonder whether the lads were not knowing which way to play at 4-1 because it's a handsome lead.
Yeah, it's one of those, the kiss of death is to sit back. But, maybe you just make better decisions, or we stop moving our feet, we stop supporting the puck, we stop managing different areas of the ice. We sort of changed our game, really.
And the danger of inviting pressure by potentially overplaying in the defensive zone.
Yeah. We saw that. It happened a couple of times in the third period where, ideally you don't want to spend any time in the D zone. And we kind of waited and we held on to the puck too long. And like you said, all we do is invite pressure, and we end up losing possession. So things to work on.
But first win of the season, and you'll be driving home tonight feeling that that's a positive start.
Yeah. Like I said, there was. From a coaching perspective, there was lots to look at, and positives and negatives, and lots to work with moving forward.
Unusual pattern of games this weekend. It's a Friday night in Sheffield, isn't it? And then home against Telford. Obviously, Telford beat Leeds last night, and I don't know if the game's finished. We're beating MK tonight. That's going to be a tough one. Yeah, of course.
Telford's it's not an easy place to go. If you're not ready, you could lose games very quickly. Probably the ice is a bit smaller than some rinks, and they know how to play in there, and they've got a really good core of guys back from last year who know Tommy, and Tommy's familiar with them. And I spoke to him this morning to see what talk about Leeds last night, and he's really happy with his group. It's up to us to go in there and not allow them the time and space to do what they want to do, I guess.
Well, we'll look forward to it. If it's as good as it was tonight, as entertaining as it was tonight, then the fans will go home happy anyway. They'll remember that. Well done on your first victory, and we'll see you next weekend.
Cheers, thank you.